Greetings viewers, this video is going to be about my Ruger 1022 and some upgrades that I've bought. These particular ones I got from KIDD Innovative Design, bought directly from their website. It seemed to be really the only place that I could find these particular upgrades that I wanted. The parts that I'm looking at, the auto bolt release for the Ruger 1022. Now you'll see that this has a little slot in it, and we'll take a look at that a little closer detail when I get the other one out. But that's the auto bolt release. The bolt buffer, which is a piece of rubber pin and a little rod. This is for impact from the bolt as it goes back. This is going to quiet it up and not beat up that pin quite as much. The magazine plunger, or the magazine latch plunger, as he calls it. It's a stainless steel piece. It's supposed to give it a little bit tighter fit for magazines. We'll see if it works out. And then I also got this takedown screw because it's a hex head stainless steel. I'm planning on doing a stock install. Stock's on order, so I'll do another video with that when the stock comes in, but that's not really going to happen today, so we'll just kind of put that off to the side. We'll focus on these three things. But big shout out to Tony KIDD and these products. I really like them a lot. I might plug them, but I'm not being sponsored by Tony or anything like that. This is all purchased with my own hard-earned money, and really I'm just trying to do a little demonstration for people who might be thinking about buying these particular items to upgrade their own 1022. They seem pretty nice. This is a new 1022. I haven't actually shot it yet. It's going to be on at the range shortly after this, and I want to see if he's improve it. I really don't like the bolt kind of catch system right now, so that's the main inspiration, was to get the auto bolt release, and then a couple of the other products I saw. That really wasn't expensive for the four things that I bought. I think I spent around $30 from his site, shipped to my house, so that wasn't bad at all. But let's take a look at the Ruger. It's been safety checked. There's nothing in the barrel, no magazine, there's no ammunition anywhere around. So we've cleared our gun. A couple things you might want for this installation, you probably should have, is a set of punch pins. Brass would be preferable. These are steel, so not the best, but that's what I have. I don't really have a set of brass pins. Some kind of a gun block. Again, a lot of this stuff you can get for inexpensive. I buy a lot of things, these inexpensive tools on Amazon. This is like Wheeler Engineering. Gunsmithing block. It's not too much, but it really helps when you're trying to drive pins out, which is going to be a big part of this pretty simple change out. If you're looking for a torque wrench, the fat wrench, the adjustable torque wrench. It's good for the adjusting the takedown screws on your stocks. And a hammer. Additionally, I wish I had a brass hammer, but standard beat up run-of-the-mill household claw hammer will do the job for now, but if I head and do more of this work, I want to do a brass hammer to take it a little easier on the gun parts. Softer metal, brass is a lot more forgiving on your gun parts, so I'm trying to stay away from steel. This has not been rehearsed. I haven't taken this down. This is the first time I'm going to try to do it, so it'll be just as if we were all doing it for the first time ourselves. So one of the first things you got to do is set your safety to the middle position, if I remember correctly from most descriptions. And this is not going to want to stay. There we go. That might slip back. Take out the takedown screw. From all things I've seen, this is an extremely easy gun to work on, so don't feel intimidated. Hopefully more people will be out there doing their own work. Safety's in the middle, and then you should just be able to push up, kind of rock it out, and then the action's out. Oop, there went my bolt buffer, just fell right out. So again, that's one of the parts that I'm intending to replace, but this bolt buffer here is going to be replaced with the new rubberized one, so we'll just set that off to the side right now. I don't think we really need to worry about that. Let's get our block behind here. So to get to this, we're going to have to drift these pins out. And if I remember, you're supposed to drift them from one direction or the other. It looks like you want to drift them from the back to the front. Or in this case, from the left to the right. Again, another, oh man. So I really don't have a whole lot of work to drift these out. It literally just fell right out. So let me just get a pin. And that'll drop right out. So you don't really have to do much to get these pins out. And it just fell. So this is doing a good bang up job. The thing I'm not probably telling you is I've got a tripod and my camera sitting like kind of right over top of my leg. So I'm trying to do this in front of the camera because my camera's a real wide angle. So to get in here to see properly, I'm kind of reaching around a tripod with a camera in front of my face. So, and I'm kind of on the edge of my desk here, so I can get close enough while sitting. But so it's not the best ideal situation, but we'll make it work. So our trigger group, we'll set off the receiver for a second. The trigger group's here. This I believe was laying here when I first screwed out. This pin is right here is the one I'm after. There's a couple simple things that to change out. Here is the bolt buffer. I'm sorry, the magazine latch plunger, and this is pretty easy to change out. If you were just going to do this part alone, you could simply just hold this in, and I believe it'll just drop out. I don't think there's much holding this plunger in. I may have to take it out, but take a look at it real quickly. I did watch a couple of videos on this. I believe this was in this position here. So we're gonna have to put this in. You can just see from me moving this and the oil on these pins, this is coming out right now. Like this, I didn't even have to drive this out with a pin or anything like that. This is about ready to drop out. So I'm gonna go ahead and let it out because this is actually the piece right here is it's my auto bolt release right here, and this is the piece that I'm after changing. So we're gonna go ahead and start to pull that out, and I'm not gonna put it all the way out yet. I'm just gonna kind of leave it in there. Yeah, this is gonna come out, so that goes like that. And I'm rocking on this pin right here, so I'm going to drive that pin out. Again, I'm really just, I didn't even have to hammer this, it's just going to pull right out. So I'm not pulling it all the way out, I'm just going to try to slide this. I'm probably going to have to drop the whole thing, but yeah, I'm going to have to take the buffer pin out. So I will have to pull this. Wow. These pins are just very easy to work on. Remember this spring that just pops up right here? That's going to have to be tucked back underneath this pin. So when you pull it all the way out, this little trigger spring right here needs to be tucked back under. So don't forget about that. But now we should be able to take our buffer pin is going to drop. It's called the buffer pin. What is it? The magazine latch plunger. I'm using the names from the website, and I'll throw in a little link to these to show you a little bit to link to these parts if you're interested and you want to try to get them for yourself. So that's about it. Those couple pins right there. There's the old auto bolt release. here's the new one. Again, there are a bunch of links to be able to, you can watch some videos where you can just basically mill this out. So you can take this and you can mill out this little section right here. You get a Dremel tool or some kind of rotary tool, or just a small file. You can just, you can modify this yourself to get this auto bolt release to work the same thing. This particular part, as you see, rather than just being open, it's the slot is actually, it doesn't have the little notch in it, so it's supposed to make it a little bit smoother to push in and out, and it has a couple little extra things here to make it work a little bit better, a little more better ergonomically. So you notice down here the pivot pin down here, it doesn't actually go up and down, so this is going to slide a little bit easier. There's a little notch, I'm not sure what that is, but so this is actually a slightly different part than the some of the other ones that are out there on the market. And additionally, but said if you want to go cheap, you can just mill this out. I've seen some videos of people doing it. It seems to work pretty good. Enough about that. There's a new one. We're going to come back here and get the magazine latch plunger, and we're going to try to put this all together with the magazine release. I do have a new magazine release that I did order. I am planning on replacing the magazine release. I really not a big fan of the factory one, so I'm going to go ahead and swap it out. It's a little bit hard ergonomically for my hands to fit inside of here with this in here to try to hit this magazine release, and I do a bit of competition shooting, some steel match, so I want to be able to change magazines and quickly, and this just kind of gets in the way. It's a little small for my hands, so I'm going to change it out. But right now we're going to keep it in because I don't have that piece in. It's on order and it takes a little bit of time to get to me. So we'll do a little bit of a video on that, update that. So we'll end up doing this again. But I'm going to lay this in here, get my plunger in. Again, and there might be a lot of better ways to lay this out. But let's get this. Let's get this in here. That way when we line this up, just need to get this to where that's holding at. There we go. I was just having a fight with that. There we go. We're through that. I just had to get this right in there, that mag release, to get on the plunger so that it would swivel on there. Didn't quite have it fit up right before. And then I'm just trying to line this pin up here with the takedown pin there, and that's it. That part's installed. I can put this get this part here. Should have a spring. Okay, that's where we made a mistake. This is great. So you're going to make these mistakes. Probably I did, for sure. Pin is out. The problem I'm having is, remember that spring that I talked about? Alright, that has to engage on top of this. So, actually, I'll show you. If you can see this little divot, our spring, if I actually, when I'm doing this, it might make a good point to lever this spring back so that when I put this back in, See if I can get back in without having to take the whole thing down. Okay. Keep that in mind. Try to fix this in here. There we go. That's in. This spring needs to press. I don't know if you can see that with this light. Right inside of there, that little divot, that spring sits. It should be sitting up. Okay. When I had put that in there, I didn't kick it back, so it fell down in. You need this tension here, so this is going to put tension on the auto bolt release. So when I start to put this in, we're going to go ahead and push it down. Let that spring get caught underneath this. That just rides in there. And there we go. Our bolt release, our magazine release works. Our bolt catch right there works. And we can start putting that back together as soon as we're done with the rest. This is the old magazine latch, so that goes into the spare bin parts. This is the bolt buffer pin. So this is just rubber. So this was the old bolt buffer pin. It was just a metal pin. So we're going to drive this in and get it to sit. If you're not familiar with these, or you're wondering, you know, why do I need this? When the bolt comes back and impacts, okay, normally this metal pin, you're going to get a clank. You're going to get this metal on metal hit. Now this rubberized heavy-duty rubber bolt buffer, and it has a metal core that we're going to just drive in. Let's double check this, make sure that, yeah, we got it tapered in on this side, so we're going to want to, I don't know if you can see this one end is slightly tapered. That's the one we're going to drive in. And we got our bolt block, and again, I'm just pushing in with my fingers, and I'll just tap it off a little bit. So it's flush. I'd say we're pretty good. So now when this bolt comes back, it's going to impact that rubber. It's going to be a lot quieter, and it's not going to loosen this up. So, and this is also going to stay in there nice and tight. If you recall, when I opened this up, this just dropped right out. Not that there's anything wrong with the parts. These are just improvements. You know, it's a good gun system. The Ruger 1022 is a great rifle. It's just these are all some improvements that can be done. And I think that's it. I actually went quicker and easier than I thought. A lot of these pins, I said they fell right out when I opened it, so there really wasn't a whole lot of work to get the pins out. They're just kind of hand tight. They stay in there. It's a super simple, easy system. So let's check that for functionality. We'll hold it back. Uh-oh. I screwed something up, didn't I? Let's drop these back out. I could have got it turned around, and I have to edit this a little bit. I think I got it back upside down. It was hitting right here when I was driving it in. Okie doke. And I'm going to have to hold this one in when I reassemble and put on the block like so. Alright, so let's give this a quick little test run. Our bolt works. Our magazine, our bolt catch I should say, works. Catches in the front position, drop and release. So this is exactly what we want. Magazine buffer, or the magazine release buffer works. So we're back. We should be functional. Trigger drops. Again, this pin does not want to stay. Okay, so we're good. We're going to put our safety back to the middle position so we can get it back in our stock. That just kind of drops in. That sits in there. Takedown screw. I had this up a little high, so I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to use about 10 to 20 inch-pounds. Some people say 10. I couldn't see what Rigger's was. I'm going to put about 10 to 20 inch-pounds of torque. And I probably took this out. I'm pretty sure this has a self-retaining, so I don't think I needed to, but I just took it all the way out. I'll probably use the new screw when I... There we go. There we go. Bolt catch. Great. This will be great for shooting steel. Everything's functional test. Safety works. Fires. Mag catch. It's all good. So that's it. Those three parts took not too long, just over 20 minutes or so. I'll probably do a little editing, cut some of the crap out, because I definitely did make a few mistakes on putting this together, and quite interesting. So that's it. I'm going to cut out. We'll have some other videos that I'll put up later where I keep an eye out for them. I'm going to do a magazine button, and we're going to do a new stock too.